Once all the stitches are hung, what I want to do is push them back against the needles and bring the needles out to hold position. I want all the needles the whole way across this triangle in hold position. And I want to add one needle in working position at the left. Now I'm going to take the lighter pink yarn. Since this was the darker pink, I do the lighter pink next. This machine needs to be set so that it will not knit the needles that are in hold position, and it needs to be threaded with this lighter pink yarn, and I like to use a clothespin to control the yarn and have my hands more free. At the beginning edge, I have one more needle that I've put out, and I bring one needle back from hold position to the intermediate position so that they will both knit. And then I knit from left to right, and I knit back. I don't wrap or do anything special, just from left to right and back. And then on the edge opposite the carriage, I'm going to increase each time I'm heading toward the knitting. So I brought a needle to the intermediate position to increase, knit left to right and back, bring another needle into work, and guess what? I'm going to do this for the entire length of this triangle. And you can see right here as I knit, the new triangle is forming. And I'll just put a weight there and knit a little bit farther so you can see how that forms. Going to go ahead and do the rest of this triangle off camera and show you the next step. I have just finished knitting the second triangle, which is the lighter pink, and it's distorted because it's still hanging on the machine, so the machine is pulling it wide. But here is the first triangle. A terrific thing about this pattern is that you do not have to sew 10 triangles together. It's a sew as you go technique, because you hung the first triangle on and you knitted right onto it. And if I flip this over, it makes a very, very nice seam. So my next step is just going to be to cut the lighter pink yarn and take it off on waste yarn. Here are 2 triangles complete, and I have the wrong side facing me. I'm going to take the long edge of the second triangle and I'm going to hang it on the 60 needles, actually on 59, just like I did with the darker pink. And then I'm going to knit a darker pink triangle just like I did the lighter pink. So what I'm doing is I'm repeating the second triangle over and over, and that's what makes the circle. Now, you will need to do 9 sections, and the 10th section, which is the last section, having done dark light, dark light, dark light, dark light, and dark again, the last section is done differently. So don't knit all 10. I have a way to join the beginning and the end with that very last section. So I'm going to proceed in the same way to knit an additional 7 triangles so that I will have 9 altogether. Here I am knitting the 9th section. There are 10 sections altogether, and I had some concern that you might think that this was terribly tedious, but actually it goes very, very fast. In fact, the sections have been taking me about 10 minutes each, so it's really not a tedious project at all. Now, the 10th section will be done a little bit differently. But I just wanted to film a little routine of knitting these. At this point, I've hung the 9th triangle on, so I have 9 out of my 10 pieces of pie, and I've just draped this around so that you can see the circle forming. Now, my job on this 10th triangle is going to be to join the beginning and the ending triangles. And I'm going to do that as I knit. I have zoomed in here on the left side. I've got all of the 9th triangle hung on the needles and the needles out in hold position, except that the first needle is empty and didn't work, and the second needle is brought back into upper working position, we call it. So it's going to knit as soon as I thread up. Now I take a transfer tool and I get the first triangle. Now, as you will recall, the first triangle had loops along the edge. So what I want to do is pick up a loop from one of these big loops from the edge, and I want to twist it. So what I do is I go in the loop from above and I turn it over and twist it and put it on the first needle. So that's on the first needle, and it's going to knit. The twist makes it close up. Otherwise I would have a row of holes in between the last two pieces of pie. I'm going to go ahead and thread the lighter color. These two end triangles are both the darker shade of pink. And I will thread and I will knit 2 rows. And I'm just going to put a clothespin on the end to hold that. Now after I knit 2 rows, I bring another needle on the right from hold position to work position, and I pick up another loop on the left. Now of course the wrong side is facing me, and I give it a twist 180 degrees, and I put it on the left hand needle. I don't increase on the left. This is still a straight edge, and this is still an increasing edge. Then I knit 2 again, another stitch from hold into working position, and I find the next loop here on the left and twist, and I'm going to hang that loop on, knit 2 rows, and I'm going to proceed this way on across the row, bringing a needle on the right into work and hanging a loop on the left onto the needle on the left. So that needle has 2 stitches on it. And this actually also goes very quickly, and as I work my way down, I will hang the entire triangle on the left and on the right, and I will have my complete circle. So let me just do a couple more, and then I'll do the rest off camera and come back when I'm ready to do the edging. And that is all there is to that joining pie shape. Well, here it is, spread out in a chair, and I'm going to go around it and put an edging on. I have open stitches on waist yarn all the way around the blanket. I've got some ends to hide in the middle and around the edges, and then I'll be finished.